Yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but if I think about it and make up a story, it feels like the past couple months I've been able to see the world without my own personal perspective, like without my own fears, without my own wants and desires, which really colors what you believe, how you see things. You don't see it as it actually is. It's more your interpretation, perhaps what makes you feel safer. I can't even really dissect exactly everything that goes on, but there is a filter on everything. And so you're not really truly able to see it as it is. And that has been kind of nice. It's been refreshing to see things as they actually are without the excessive hope and positivity that the person seems to live by. And it doesn't seem to really necessarily draw the body down into despair or hopelessness either. It feels more neutral. It feels more like this is what it is. And and it is still disturbing. It is still like unfortunate that humans are the way they are and they function the way they do. Not that there aren't nice aspects to it, you know, there are a lot of well meaning people out there as well who are trying and who want to, yeah, not do harm and they don't want war. But yeah, it's unfortunate that, well, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but like as a story, we're just born in this world, not knowing what this is, and then being conditioned by our environment and our parents who have been conditioned themselves and yeah, out of their own perceptions, they kind of try to mold you into what they think will keep you safe and make you successful in this disturbing, crazy world. So it's not necessarily the best for you, which they can't really know. It's just, yeah, how can I mold you to, in a way, fit in and play the game and not stand out so much and yet still try to be at the top somehow. And so then everything is from your own perspective. Like, yeah, it's my job to succeed in life. It's my job to maneuver this like kind of battlefield that is just there. Um and and you will fail, you know, and the failures will be personalized. It will be your fault. It will feel like your fault. Yeah, when I see it from this place, it's just crazy what humans go through and what they deal with. And I know that they don't know. Like it their viewpoint is so limited that they can't really see what they're dealing with. And in a way, I guess that's a good thing. Like that's how they most of them survive, you know? They can't see really what's going on. They can't really see the burden that is put on the body, the extremes that they put the body through. And so you never really feel the amount of intensity that is placed on the body in so many different ways until it starts to unravel, until you feel through everything. And then your body is kind of like, it can bring up memories. It can see past events or past happenings in a completely different way from a completely different viewpoint. You know, it can almost be like, wow, that was really traumatic. And I did not interpret it like that back then because I was too busy with all the other conditioning, all the brainwashing, all the ways of seeing it, all the ways of just pushing through and getting by. And so when the body keeps going through that and it's really feeling through all the chaos that it was put through and it's undoing all of that, why would you go back to it? The body now can be in a place where it's more at rest and it's not desperate to get and achieve what you thought was valuable and worthy of your time and effort and stress and anxiety. It's not worth it anymore. And the body sees what it does, um, creates massive sickness, really, tension, chaos. And it feels like now the body's just the thing in charge. And it's not like I think about it, you know, it's even strange to even verbalize it and say it in that way. But that's what happens. And it makes sense that when you're a person and still living your life and trying to make it something, the body has really no say. Like you can use tools to sense into, okay, what is my intuition saying and what is my body telling me? And but the mind is way too loud. What you want and desire and what you fear is way too loud. So there's no clarity at all. And so these tools can appear to be helpful. I can understand why people use these things. But here it's like it becomes irrelevant because it's almost the only thing. The body is louder than anything. It has all to say, basically. I mean, the mind can still doubt and, yeah, reminisce like how it was in the past. And it can still go back and forth, but really, more and more, the body has all to say. And thank God. You're not ruled by other people. You're not ruled by the chaos within. Yeah, it's just chaos, basically, in every single body. And you've been ruled by that your whole life. And that's kind of creepy that you listened to and respected and revered and tried to emulate w- what you see now as insanity. Like it's absolutely insane. No wonder the body was all twisted up and sick and confused and swung around here and there. I think when I start with the story and then I kind of pause, it just goes in so many different directions. And then I'm just like, forget it. There doesn't need to be a conclusion. But it really does feel like the body is able to finally say like what it needs, what feels good, what feels right, and it's not extreme. It's quite simple. It's very basic. It's not loud in the way that the person thinks. but it's more obvious now. But it's only obvious because this controlling, incessantly restless energy has disappeared and died. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's in everybody. It's not a bad thing. I'm just describing that once it's gone, the body can finally, it feels like the body can finally just live in peace, more peace than before. It's not completely at peace. Like it still has to live in this world and function, try to function without that insane energy. Um, so it's basically functioning within a system that is built from and for that insane energy. And so then obviously there are challenges when the body's just at peace and it'd rather not be a part of the insanity anymore for all the reasons I just described. It's not like a judgmental thing. It really is like that has been purged out of the body. So why would it be enticed for more poison, more toxicity? Because that's how it energetically feels it now. It's like no thanks. Yeah, so that's part of the challenge, and I'm also seeing how it goes. If anyone would like to interact, you're welcome to raise your hand and feel free to express whatever you'd like. Or we can also just sit. It's nice too.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, Nikki.
Yeah, yeah, many things uh, have shifted, and I think on one level it was because I got onto a 12-step program for my food addiction,
Hmm.
and it's incredible how just that one loop being closed just ended up shifting my life on so many different levels. Um, just that the body was being looked after, consistently, has been being looked after consistently for a few months now. And what ended up happening was that suddenly um, things that had been not clear before around how much this body was kind of being abandoned to please other people, um, to carrying this shame and guilt around. And um, I don't know, I just had these few months of just like cutting away relationships that I'd spent years building, friendships,
Mm.
and how much energy went into kind of now I see like just keeping them alive, you know?
Yeah.
Um, wow, crazy. Um, and one by one, within the space of like 2 months, just gone, you know? Well, it started with me kind of just saying, actually, this is what I need, you know? And the thing that I was afraid to name for being demanding, for being all of these things. And when I named them, most of them dropped away because the other just was just like, no, I can't do that. I can't be there for you like this, or I can't reach out more often, or I can't, uh, yeah, I can't put in half as much emotional work as you are putting in. My
Mm.
life just set up for that, you know. Fair enough. That's where their life is. Except I kind of stopped doing that, and which means I've been more alone than I ever have been in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And it's been also really interesting seeing the after effects on the nervous system of just being like not being able to sleep, like things going around in my head over and over again, putting on Chat GPT, analyzing it 100 times. It's like, am I doing this right? Am I not seeing something? Is there a shadow here? Is there something I'm projecting? You know, and brilliant AI helping me in that way. But the nervous system is the nervous system, you know, just and what it's led to actually is my I'm putting out a performance next in 3 days, which is right now why I'm up late and freaking out because I'm just like, holy shit, this is almost a lot of improvisation. I'm completely unprepared. I've got a whole bunch of people I know that are coming, and it's a big space, and and it's a show all about stripping, and I will strip actually as part of it, and it just feels like, what the hell am I doing and why am I doing it? Um, and yet it's the truth, you know, that's what feels like it wants to come out.
Mm.
Um, and even as I know there's a part of me that's completely aware of how much of a joke it is that there is a performance in the life in the performance that is this life. And it's all very meta, you know, boxes within boxes within boxes. But my body doesn't recognize that. It's feeling like danger, danger, danger. What are you doing? Exposing yourself on multiple levels. Um, and it's like all the shame that was has been here. It's just like just kind of wanting to consume. Hmm.
What made you decide in the first place to do that performance?
It's kind of been a goal this year to put out something. I've been part of informal improvisation spaces, and I see that there is a story that wants to be told. Um, and it's this story, you know, the unmasking, the stripping, the truth finding. And and all of this just happened in the flow of things that I was terrified, and I took myself every day to the space and just kind of most of the time just held myself as my body froze in fear, you know.
Mm.
And yet every day, if I was there an hour and 40 minutes of it was just meeting the fear, or not even meeting the fear, it's just like giving the body what it needed. The other 10, 15 minutes I would write, or something would move, or something would come through. And it seemed like, okay, I just do that one baby step every day, and something else shifted, and some other idea came, and I'm ending up doing it with a couple of friends, one of whom is going to play piano, and another one is going to be on the stage with me. And I don't know how it happened. It happened because it was just one step,
Mm.
following something or letting something happen. Um, yeah, and now it's just getting to actually all of us coming together for the first time tomorrow. And then the day after, well, on Wednesday, we're doing the performance. It's
Mm. Cool.
kind of it's mad, but yeah, uh,
Is it like a dance thing?
it's a bit of movement, it's a bit of poetry, it's a bit of we're gonna be clowns for some of it. It'll be a bit mad and a bit sad and a bit angry and
Mm.
um
Nice.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, express what you need to express there.
yeah. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. Um,
No, it's not even possible, anyways.
yeah. It's the voice inside. It's like the conditioning here is just like be perfect, get all these details down, make it more and more something you can control, something you can just not fail at, and people are gonna, I don't know, what am I looking for from the people that are coming that feels so, it feels like, yeah, yeah, what am I looking for in their eyes? Or am I looking for them to tell me I did good? Like, if they say it, will that be okay? Um, if they walk out, like, what is this terror? Mm. I guess more than anything, I'm afraid that on the day that, but it's okay also if the nervous system just freezes. That's what's up with that's okay. Well, what? It freezes and people have a story to go home to and say, hey, we went for this thing and nothing happened. It was just piano. I mean, that's okay.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh. When you stop, when you speak in the beginning and you pause, are there thoughts going through your head? What happens in that pause?
Yeah. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes there's thoughts going in my head. Um, yeah. I don't know exactly how it is, but I think that um there's like a little bit more of a hesitation when I'm in front of people to just say what the mind is kind of saying. But when
Mm.
I'm in front of a camera by myself, less of that happens. And so there's more of a free flow and less of a care about um, selecting what would be good to say next. I
Mm.
think that's what's going on. So I'm not mentally thinking about it. I think the body naturally does that if it's in front of people, if it's alone. Um, yeah, I've seen that happen a couple times where it's like I will start a story and then I will pause and there are multiple avenues. And sometimes I just don't go down any avenue. I just end it there or
Mm. Yeah, that's it. I It's all okay. Whichever
yeah.
path, whichever path not taken, it's all perfect. And the care for the right path, whatever that's perfect too. That's just what's here. Mm. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of what the body does, you're still going to get pretty much the same result. So you might as well just see what your body does and see that that was natural for that to happen in that moment. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess the conditioning here is just to go to the extremes, to really um yeah, let it just, whether it's completely just cutting off relationships all of a sudden out of the blue, whether it's stripping on stage to show the metaphorical strip. I don't know. It all feels like it needs to go there. I don't know. It just seems to go there. Um,
In the bigger picture, it doesn't really matter. So even in the example of you pushing a relationship completely, it's not like that's final as well.
hmm.
Um, that's just a response that the body had in the moment, and it did see what it needed to see in only because it did that. It had to do that in order to see exactly what it saw.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that there's no backtracking from there. It that makes sense to me that sometimes the body just needs to be like completely out of something to get some clarity, to see it without being in the middle of it.
Mhm. Yeah. And it's also naming things now, not just one-on-one in relationships, but also in groups, like naming where power is felt here, where it's felt like it's it's sensing that other others are manipulating things that, first of all, I would never even sense before because I would be too busy trying to get everybody to like me. Um, and now not only I mean, I still have that feeling of constantly wanting people to like me and that things happen accordingly that way too. But there's also more things named now of like, oh, what's actually playing out here is somebody else's want to control and have power here, or their needs playing out in this way. Um, and more naming that in group settings, and also then twice now experiencing feeling pushed out of the group because of that. Um, and it's really painful, really, really painful. Um,
Because you voice it or you don't play along.
yeah, I don't know why, but the body just, I guess the story is that it's like pushed out of a tribe, no? Like it's really like the body feels abandoned and alone and um, I don't know, and I just have to cry. Like I've been really just feeling really in pain about it. And
Is this like an important group to you?
one of them was like a clowning group that I was part of, a performance group.
Mhm.
And I didn't know them so well, so it was okay. Like I stepped out and simultaneously pushed out, stepped out, you know. But then the other one was a community that I'd spent years helping build, um, that my ex was a part of. And I mean, it's a slow untangling process that's been going on years. And mm, but it kind of felt like a final push out, except I didn't get to choose the leaving. In some ways, it was done for me. Um, and and it was done because I named the dynamics in the group in that moment rather than um, just, yeah, answer whatever questions were in the group, you know?
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it had to happen in a way. Because you can't just be like you can't force yourself to just play along anymore.
yeah,
But yeah, of course it's sad. It makes sense that there's like a long history and a lot of probably energy that's been um energy on your part to like build that community and create these relationships and
yeah. There's one part of me that's like really rejoicing the part that's looking after my, you know, that child inside or naming things that had never been named before. And another part of me is just really sad and scared and feels really unsafe because I don't belong anywhere anymore. Or at least that's that's a bit of the story, you know. Um, and
yeah,
it's really scary to not belong anywhere. It's,
yep.
and even my closest friendships, you know, they all took a battering with this community situation because part of me felt like, oh, nobody stood up for me. And even my closest friend there just wanted to make peace and not push any conflict and just chose to remain silent rather than, whereas, you know, when she speaks to me privately, it's like she agrees with me completely, you know? And
Mm.
and it's like, why am I the only one doing this? And look, I get pushed out and nobody says anything. And it's like being in the school again and being like, why didn't you, you know, stand up for me and fight for me? And why wasn't I important enough? Or why didn't I matter, you know? And I
Yeah,
know everyone's doing their best in whatever they can, but I just feel so sad and
of course.
alone in it. Mm.
Mm. Yeah, of course you would feel that way. It's not nice when one you see how natural it is for humans to back away and to stay silent when the majority is not it's perceived that they're not gonna support you,
Mm.
or they're going to look down at you or look at you in a negative way, the tendency is to just stay silent.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the human mechanism. And we all understand why. There's a lot of things at play,
Mm.
but it's still really sad. I mean, if you kind of just use that one example for the whole world, that's what's going on everywhere. We know that things are wrong, that we do not agree with a lot of things that are going on, but no one speaks up and no one says anything. And but in
Mm.
a way, it makes sense. Like, how can you go against the mass majority of people?
Mm.
In a way, your body senses like it's kind of a losing battle, even without you thinking about it. Like the body just feels fear and terror and it shuts down.
Yeah, it's the human condition. And I guess part of whatever this is going on is like, oh, I can't, yeah, it's not possible to stay silent anymore. It feels like a betrayal that's, at least in this moment, not possible to do.
Yep. Yeah, it's not worth
Maybe,
it anymore.
yeah, yeah. The cost of it is, oh, yeah, I don't want to feel like that again. It's worse than this, even though this is
Mm,
so painful.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything that you express is like a beautiful example of what this is really like. It's like you can't live the old way and you can't do the old things. That too is really painful or even impossible. But this is also difficult to feel outcasted and feel like you don't belong and feel like you're on the outskirts in to a degree that was never really felt before. It does take a lot. And it's partially choiceless and it's partially you've played the game long enough to finally get to a point where it's just like I've tasted what you get from it. I don't even think I enjoy what I get out of it anymore.
Mm.
Because it's kind of fake now.
Mm.
And so you kind of just don't have a choice but to burn in this like, where do I belong? And it's not a nice place. And it makes complete sense why you feel that way.
Yeah. And every night I can't sleep well. It's just like another night. It's like, oh, again, I understand. It's like the head is playing, replaying, blah, blah, blah. And it's like everything's just on edge, just feeling
Mm-hmm.
so. But yeah, it's choiceless. That's exactly the word. It feels like I am doing it, but it's happening. Yeah. Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for that. Mm.
Yeah. And it makes sense like overall the body is gonna be less settled. It's gonna be more, yeah, antsy and like not really feeling completely good. So it's gonna spill over into everything right now, probably.
Yeah. Food isn't a comfort anymore. Cigarettes aren't a comfort anymore. So it doesn't have many places it can go.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
I can't watch things continually on end anymore. And it's like, yeah, it's just has to go through it.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel for you, Nikki, and I'm sure that you'll do amazing in the show.
Thank you. I finish up. Klee's been waiting for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm really appreciative that you shared everything.
I also jump in the beginning because I'm here in India and it's already quite late. And I know the longer I'm less likely to
Hmm.
stay awake. So I
Totally.
apologize. My hand
No,
raises like trigger fast.
yeah, it's fine.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much, Nikki. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks, Suzanne.
Hi, Clee.
There's always so much to say and also like nothing.
I know. Yeah.
That that sense of things getting better and worse simultaneously is so confusing.
Oh, yeah.
It's I I feel like my nervous system is actually calming for the first time in I don't remember how many years. Being in a place that's familiar, feeling supported, and all the things that the body likes. And it's lovely. And at the same time, I actually feel like I'm getting arthritis. Like it started with one knuckle and now that knuckle's really inflamed and it's like freaking me out because my mum's got fun in her fingers and my nana does. And I'm 35. Like, this is it's a bit early for this. Um, so there's like this freak out every day because it keeps getting worse and better and worse. And searching for the cure and how to make things better and what to do. And I don't trust the medical system. So it doesn't really even occur to me to go to a doctor because I don't want to be on drugs. So I'm looking for the alternative things. But then there's that constant check in with my intuition. And it's good because it forces the check in with like, does this actually feel correct? Are people just wanting it to be like, I don't know who to trust or how to trust, which is kind of interesting. Would be more interesting if my suffering wasn't depending on it. You know, it's like, okay, interesting. Do I want if which intuitively do I want? Chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? You kind of can't get it wrong. You're eating ice cream and it's nice. But in this, you can seriously fuck things up. So it feels like I don't have a choice to get it wrong. So then I go in the head and the mind and the head and the mind. And all the unraveling internally around so much of stuff with my mum and having a friend stay. And I thought it would be great, and it was crap. It was awful because all the things she does that are like my mum just triggered me so big.
Mhm.
And she's done so much inner work and was self-realized, whatever that means. It happened in a big moment for her, specifically a few years ago, and always had her on a pedestal, but that pedestal is rapidly decreasing because I don't feel safe talking to her. She says the right words, and I feel bamboozled because I don't feel safe, and I feel unseen. And I compare a little bit with I was comparing when I was trying to share really just authentic, complete truth with her about how I felt sharing that with her. And something she does is her face is just completely, there's nothing there, and I don't feel felt. And I was kind of in my mind over the last few days comparing that with how I feel talking to you here, or talking to my therapist, or other people, but particularly here my therapist, because that's where a lot of truth and authenticity just feels very allowed. And I feel felt by you. There is a sort of nodding your head at the right moment, and a smile, or a something. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's an emotion. There's a two people interacting, and just because you're not suffering when I'm suffering doesn't mean you don't feel something, or something isn't there isn't something there. And I just totally don't feel felt in that way. And I think that's the same with my mum, and it really it caught me. It just wrapped me up. Um, and I lost myself. What does that even mean? But there was like this sense of this, I'm here to take care of other people,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't even, nothing is about me. This body stops making it about this body, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. It's always about taking care of her, because she came and she immediately got sick, as well as being chronically sick. She got a cold as well. And then we had a barbecue and my family came around and I hosted. And so it was all about other. And it just, I felt mute. I wasn't even singing in the car. I wasn't, just all the things that normally happen, just,
Yeah.
and then the anger when she left, it was like, ah! And I don't really like to admit it,
No, that's
but
fine.
there are lots of stories that there was a feeling about it, but then there was lots of stories made up. She should do this. Why does she not do that? Doesn't she know? Da, 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 da. It's like I couldn't. It's like the anger had to come out through words, through making sense of it, through making her wrong. Which, for not the first time, but it's increasingly feeling icky to do that. Not that there's not things that she is doing that are hurtful, and that's okay, but that it's being seen that the emotion and the feeling being felt is starting to feel more important than the stories I make up about it. Because they just cause more stress. And I go, well, I can't do that because of that story. And then if that's true and that happened, well, I definitely can't do that. And then there's more wound up, rather than
Yeah.
just that hurt. I felt alone. I felt closed. I felt sad. I felt frustrated. I felt these things. How the mind is so loud, it so wants to get involved and it wants to fix and analyze and intellectualize all the time.
Mm. It
But it
sounds
doesn't
like a
seem.
lot. A friend visiting and then having a family gathering like that. And it is a lot for the body to handle.
Honestly, it makes me think, like, how are these, like, people in the big cities functioning, working a million hours?
Yeah. Because they're very numb. They're living completely from like Yeah, it's a different place.
It actually doesn't compute. You know what I mean? Like I cannot conceive. I completely don't understand. Just kind of weird. Like
Mm,
logically I get it. I'm like, look, I'm like, doesn't.
yeah. Yeah, because it's so far from where you are now.
So so fucking tired of my brain. Like so like shut up.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story, but I think that when you see someone from your past and you've had a certain dynamic with them, and then you see them again and it's a completely different dynamic where you just see a lot of stuff. It's like there's a lot that is being processed in the body, you know?
I've really only known her 5 years, but I've known her online. I've all that time. Like we've been in the same room for probably no more than 20, 20 days of that
Hmm.
time. Um, and I've disconnected from her. I ghosted her for a month or two or three, a couple of times maybe because of exact these things. And so it shouldn't have been a surprise to me, really. Um, but yeah, and it's almost like a staging ground or a practice of stuff with my mum, or just a helpful way for me to see that it's not my mum that is the problem. It's when people do, when that thing happens, this behaves this way. It's not actually about my mum. It's about people behaving that way, and I respond, like react to that or something. It makes me feel more validated as well somehow. I'm not sure why it does.
Yeah. Yeah, even without the story of you and your mom, it's just I think your body can sense if something feels off, like it's not being seen, it's not being
Yeah.
it just doesn't feel nice, you know?
Yeah.
And you can I like that you can sense that it feels off. Like even if the person says the right thing and the nice thing and but your body is still like, yeah, I don't feel good. I don't feel safe. I don't like being around you. That's all the evidence you need to be like, yeah, maybe no.
Yeah. And my mind wants to say, yeah, but we've got this friendship, and yeah, but we're supposed to do this or be that or have this. And the first thing that you have to do to build a business with someone or have a friendship is want to talk to them. And if you don't, then maybe those things can't happen. Uh, yeah. And it really is. It's just like the body says no.
Hmm.
Like you were saying before, it like the body, it's the body is in charge more and more.
Yeah. And it's really hard to dissect people. Like that's why I think your mind is just like tortured because it's really hard to figure out someone. You can sense that something's off, but you can't really know exactly what it is.
And it's not, doesn't really, it feels less and less like I'm interested in figuring it out, although my mind still is. There's something that's happening that's like, so what? And I like having relationships with people who I can say, hey, I felt like this when you said that. And they'll go, oh, you know what? I do this thing where da 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 da. I think you might be reacting to that. Those
Mm.
friendships I love. Those are not much easier because it's like you get both, we all get to be honest, but if I have to pull it out of someone or be like, do you think you might have been doing da 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 da? And like
Mm.
it takes ages to figure it out. I'm like, nah, I'm too tired. Figure your own
Mm.
shit out. It's enough for me to figure mine out.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's a pattern that feels very loud at the moment, is like it's overgiving, constant overgiving. Like in every single area of my life. It is a here and out rather than a receiving. Like even in, I do detoxes to get the stuff out instead of trying to get the good stuff in. Or like it feels so much easier to give a gift or donate money to a charity, or it feels so much easier to give than it is to receive. And even if I do receive, I can't feel it.
Mm.
I can't feel. Like I know I appreciate things, but I don't, like I felt warmth, and that warmth people talk about, the warmth of the love in your chest, and like I felt it on a number of occasions, but not much. And I can sense that it's there, but it's like it's behind a wall, like a
Mm.
glass. You know, when someone's behind a glass wall and you can't hear them, but you can see them. And if they're screaming bloody murder, you still can't hear them. You know they're screaming, but your hearing can't sense it.
Mm.
It feels like that. Like I know there's gratitude. Like I can sense that there's something, but I can't feel it in the way that I know could. It's just I can't. I just cannot let things in.
Yeah, I think that's okay. It's it's probably maybe your body just got used to not receiving just because it didn't get it so much. And then it could have just been like, fuck it. I'm just gonna give. No one's giving me anything anyways.
And it hurt when I would like receive love and then it was cut off. It's like, why am I going to open for good things to come in when they're snatched away? And the pain of it being snatched away is way too much.
Mm, yeah, that makes sense.
Shit, though. Constant fighting and seeking and trying to get it right. It is constantly there, and I am constantly like, incredulous but it's so pervasive. Like it's so there all the time, every second of the day, constant tension, constant think I should do something differently. There's not, I'm not good enough. That's not good enough. Something's not good enough. I need to fix. I need to change. Ask ChatGPT, ask Google, ask friends. These like it's a constant like help, help, help. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. So just, and there's no way of turning it off. And I guess there's no one to turn it off either. So it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, it's gonna vary. I'm sure you did have moments where it just kind of relieves itself one way or another. But yeah, I have moments like that too. And then after a little bit of buildup, after a week or two, I'm just like, forget it. It's not worth it. Like this is torture. This is literally even if it's subtle, it's like a subtle grade torture that's constant. And I'm like, it's not worth it. Whatever the mind is going over and over trying to perfect in its mind, it's just like, it's not worth it. Fuck it. Um, and sometimes when that arises naturally, it does change the body a little bit. Somehow, like something is just like, you're right. It's not a big deal. Like it just doesn't matter. It really just, it's not worth the constant foundational grade of torture.
This friend said something about what's happening in the world, Iran, Israel stuff. And she said, well, what are you guys going to do if World War III breaks out? Like, it might not be safe in the UK. What are you guys going to do? I think that's a conversation you should probably have. And that immediately stressed me out, obviously, because that's insane. And then she says something like, well, you're asking me to leave all my family. Like, you're saying I should leave all my family and I could go and stay with you in Brazil. And I was like, I got in such a stress. I was like, oh my God, I have to make a decision soon because everything happens. I can't make that decision in a day if everything blows up. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I thought, well, if I leave the UK and go to Brazil, for example, I'll be so stressed, worried about my family, that that's not worth it either. I was like, oh, I'm going to do nothing. If it happens, I'm staying. If I die, what's the problem with that? I'm fine. It's like, what's the issue? Why? And that's one of the moments I was like, okay, so you're self-realized, everything's great, but you're that afraid of death and other people around. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, actually, I don't care. I am going to die in this. This is death is going to happen to this body. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen or when. And it kind of that relief that you mentioned kind of came, and I was like, I'm gonna stay here. I don't know.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And there's this subtle kind of the mind trying to figure out non-duality and like, yes, I believe that we are everything is one or whatever, and it hurts. Like it just doesn't. It can't obviously cannot make sense. But there is like, yeah, but I need to intellectually know it. I need to intellectually like no, I need to know and understand.
Oh, it can't. It doesn't even make sense. We're one. What does that mean? That doesn't even make sense.
and then it always drops because I always come to the conclusion always comes. I'm like, uh,
Oh yeah, the mind can't figure anything out.
even if it was known or something, I don't know the words to describe, but so what? I still have to eat. Bills still need paying. Like, uh, it's another. It just feels like another way of trying to fix everything.
Mm.
Mm.
I want to slow down. I just want to slow. Like, just it's so loud. It's so on repeat. It just won't slow down. Like, there's always more to say. There's always more to think about. There's always more to understand. There's always forever more. And the body just keeps like this anxiety, this like ADHD, more next, do something, tidy up, clean up, relax quickly, do the good relaxing. Come on.
Mm.
Really just want to sit. I want to be able to sit quietly. I can't. I can't just sit here. Like I listen to everybody on this call, right? But I am on my phone, I'm reading something, I'm doing like I cannot just concentrate.
Yeah, that's okay. That's not a marker of anything. I know that it's uncomfortable, the restlessness. It is quite uncomfortable, but it's not up to you. It's okay. Also, I think when the body's just been through stuff, it's gonna get riled up for a while. It's processing a lot. This is how it processes stuff sometimes.
Yeah. And I was doing really well, like really uh counting my calories, not in a bad way. I'm not cutting massively, but just being more aware. It was really nice to just be more present and aware of what I was putting in my body, and
Hmm.
then the last 2 weeks has just gone to shit. Like I am not hungry 80% of the time that I eat. I am eating because I feel and I don't want to feel the feeling.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
can't control it. Like there's no amount of like getting on the scales and shaming myself into it or looking at pictures of old me and going, yeah, I could look like that again. Doesn't tried,
No.
doesn't work. Just feel just
Mm.
feeds. It actually just feeds the feelings that I don't want
Mm.
to feel.
Exactly. Yeah. No, the old tactics don't work anymore. The being mean and cruel to oneself, it doesn't work. It just has to run its course, kind of.
Yeah. Everything really just does run its course.
Exactly. And you see, like, it's not necessarily what you prefer some of the times, but it's just like, I cannot control the body. The body will, it is going through something or processing something or whatever is happening. It needs to do it. And it won't be like this forever. But like, yeah, it just is like this right now.
Sometimes it takes some time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. You know, there are plenty of billions of times where I felt exactly the same way. And it's like, well, that's what it's like living in a human body. It's crazy.
Mm, mm. I was also thinking earlier that I would love to just sit and be with you, but without it being a me time. Does that make sense? And if anyone else might want it at any time in the group, if there was a time we could just sit and be together, just like at some point maybe.
Sure. Yeah. Just to be in silence or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I can set something up like that.
That'd be really nice. Because if it's like this, I'll have a desire to talk. If it's like me and you and everyone else, I will want to talk. But if it's a whole group thing, I feel this, I feel the, I don't know, I feel the energy of like the container or something. It just makes me not pick up my phone and not do the other things. Just
Mm,
a bit more. And I don't want to force myself to do that a lot because that doesn't work either. But doing it in a space where I really trust the people and it feels like a nice space to try.
hmm.
Um,
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's nice that you suggested that.
I will let Rebecca go
Okay, thanks so much, Clee.
away.
Hello.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
You too. Long time no see. Um, yeah, as Clea was speaking, I was just thinking how I feel like we're all just like this herd of humans, and there's all these huge problems, and somehow we've been conditioned to think that we're the ones who could solve those problems. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, I feel the whole burden of the world. Like she was talking about moving to Brazil. Like that is the most inane thing. Like one person gets to move to Brazil to get, to avoid war or whatever. That's not really accomplishing. Like that's not a solution. That's just one person leaving.
mm,
Um, and like me feeling like, well, I really need to get out there and protest and march against this injustice. And like, what the fuck is that going to solve? Nothing. Like, we're just a herd of animals. Like, none of us has the tools or the ability to solve the world's issues. But like, we think we do. And I think that's what makes us crazy.
mm,
It's just, constantly thinking, well, how can we fix this? How can I fix myself? Because once I fix myself, then I can help fix humanity and blah, 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 blah. It's just on and on and on. It's like, can you imagine like a herd of cows doing something similar? Like, you
mm,
know, one cow thinks, oh, I'm gonna, in this whole meat processing thing, this is not good. And, like, that's not going to work. Um, but it's like so burdensome
mm,
for individual psyche to think that it can fix A itself and B humanity, you know?
Yeah, that's really well said. Huge burden.
Yeah. But it's like you see how sick things are and how you make, not like this is not our natural state. This is fucked up, and that's why we react the way we do. It's just to harm others and to have all this energy to achieve or get a better situation or just anything
Mm.
instead of just existing. You're like, it sucks, but at least if we could, I don't know, not think we could fix it, I feel like we'd be so much saner. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's really hard to land anywhere because I mean, it kind of is like how it's set up and who has power and why. It's like there's gonna be chaos, like absolute chaos. And we're little ants in that. We're not part of the decision. We have to live with the consequences or we have to
Exactly.
adjust and things like that. Um, it's sad. It's sad that that mass majority do not agree. I mean, well, maybe I'm making that up. I'm not sure, but it's like we're forced to do things we don't want to do, we don't agree with. Um, there's a lot of fear within us to say anything, to stop doing it. Um, yeah. And before I did have thoughts of like, why? Why are we all doing this when we all don't like it? It's just
Mhm.
we all don't agree with it. Um, but I do see that, like, for example, me in the past, who who is still just trying to have a good life, live a good life. And I'm not
Mhm.
trying to, well, actually, I was trying to change the world in my own little way, but
Yeah.
um,
Trying to change at least your world. Yeah.
no, I was into like, designing solar products and thinking that that would be my way of contributing. But what you see in every industry is you're saying one thing and behind the scenes, you're doing something completely different. You're still destroying the world. You're still doing it for profit. The bottom line is for profit. It's not really to benefit. Um, it can appear that way. The marketing can make it appear that way. So it's just like, and so then you do see like what is everything built upon? This this sort of system, it's run a certain way and therefore certain people have all the say and the power. And even though they don't say that in, you know, what they're doing behind the scenes is a completely different story.
I just feel this energy is like so hard to accept. Like there's nothing I can do, you know?
Yeah. And I'm not saying there's nothing you can do. Um,
Is there something I can do? Like I feel like I've tried a whole bunch of different stuff that I could do, like,
mhm.
but it doesn't seem to make a dent, and it just makes me
Yeah. I mean, that's what
crazy.
I have seen for myself as well. It makes me crazy.
Yeah.
But what I can also say is like it's not uncommon how you feel. It's a normal thing that you would be outraged and disgusted and yeah. I remember there were a lot of different things that really touched me in different ways throughout this. And yeah, my heart had to break, you know, it was breaking. Um,
Then, and then you say, well, there's nothing you can do, but then somebody will say, well, if everybody thought that way, there's really nothing you can do. Like if we would just unite, like, well, how do we unite? I don't know how to do that, I just like, yeah, it's disgusting. And like, I just makes me want to, every time I think about how unjust everything is, it just makes me want to throw up.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a very understandable and natural reaction to all of it.
But I think part of that personal energy is thinking, we can fix it. We can fix it. And it just does it make it worse? I don't know. Probably. Just more of that energy. Just more of that fix it energy. Just on a grander scale.
Mm. Well, for you, does it feel like something's just being processed in the body, like it's really disturbed by this stuff, or is there actually energy to do something about it?
There's absolutely no energy. Like, and I feel
Yeah.
guilt. I even feel guilty about that. Like, I just like, well, it's disgusting, but I can't even get off the couch. Like, I can't go to the protest. I don't even have
Mm.
the energy for that. And then there's guilt. Oh, but you should, you know.
Mm.
Everybody felt like you. Nothing will ever change. But is
Mm.
that true? No, not probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are probably older narratives that constantly made you move forward, do something, be external,
Yeah.
be very action oriented, but
Yeah.
and that's normal. But I think here it's like, yeah, the body is just actually kind of seeing things more clearly. And so it's feeling, and it's also feeling things more thoroughly. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go and do something or that you're bad if you don't.
Right.
The body itself is just processing a lot. Um, the truth is you will in a way see it a different way. The more that the body processes this, you will see it from a different place and then from a different place. And so it doesn't mean that you will or won't take action. I don't know. But
Right.
but I think I just described that because that's what happens in this. It doesn't mean that you have to act on every impulse. It doesn't mean you're bad if you don't. You've done enough. You've tried enough in your whole lifetime.
We all have.
Yeah.
It's just my heart really hurts.
I know. Yeah. And I think that's a really actually beautiful response to what's happening because really, I think most people are very numb. And yes, they're horrified. And yes, they can say a lot of things, but they don't really feel. And let the tears come. I'm here. I know it sucks. To me, I think you're in a very rare and beautiful place where not many feel free to express because that isn't expressed. People feel like they need an answer or solution and then they say things, but to be just be splayed out raw, this is a very normal response and reaction to the destruction that's everywhere and the harm we do to each other. For what? For more money, for more power.
So sick. We didn't do anything to deserve this. Mm.
No.
Yep. I feel so helpless. So many tissues. So many tissues. Lots of love to everybody. Thanks, Suzanne.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Rebecca. Lots of love to you. Yeah. think part of what's really beautiful about what and how people share here is that it almost feels like this is the most honest you can be, you know, the most raw, like unfiltered, without the pretending. You're kind of clearly displaying and describing what it is like to be in a human body, how absolutely insane and torturous it can be. And the very natural and beautiful responses of when the heart is kind of like breaking open, when the body is sort of on its knees, like it can't really do and get and be as active as it once was. It doesn't have that intense fighting energy. I'm not saying that subtle, there can't be subtler aspects of that internal fighting in all of these different ways, but there isn't enough shields and masks and identities that are able to manipulate the body to take action in that way anymore. It really is an internal landscape that is quite loud. And yeah, it can almost feel like the body itself is like screaming and crying from all of it. And it's so rare. It's like unbelievably rare to see the effects of everything in your life of humanity and to feel it to that degree. It's so rare. Um, you wouldn't wish it on anyone. Like it's not an easy thing to go through. It's not something that you can choose. But if it does happen, there's something very beautiful about it, something very potent, very clarifying, even though it can feel like absolute torture and insanity in certain moments, it's very clarifying. You see yourself more clearly, you see the world more clearly. A lot of the things that you like blamed yourself for, you see how much you were actually dealing with and how much was actually there. You see that you actually did really, really well. It's almost kind of a miracle that you're here at this point and still unraveling. It's really nice to sit with you all. Sometimes forgot that I was in front of people. Um, but yeah, I'll try to decide if I could set up like a silent sitting kind of thing. I think that sounds nice. But yeah, thanks so much for sharing and being here. I really appreciate you all. It's very brave. You're all very lovely. Okay, well, have a lovely Sunday. Bye.